tier list for the commanders. It's gonna be focused on season 1 only, so any further season commanders, it won't be on the tier list, and it's gonna be a bit of a different tier list rather than just telling you like which commander is overall better. Because if you're playing, for example, I don't know, Cowardly, it doesn't matter that Lilia is considered above, like, for example, Emery's. Of course, you're not gonna use Lilia. So in this case, I'm gonna specify for, like, why the hero is on each category. And you might find some surprises on this video, because this is not gonna be, like, because it's only on season 1. There might be some epics that are ranking higher than you would expect, or that you've seen on other videos from players that are literally ranking commanders from all the seasons, which in our case we cannot do because we don't have those commanders, so those marches are not available to us. So we're gonna start with Husk. I'm gonna rank this commander an A. Now, the A is not like the ranking, it's not purely on performance wise. Performance of this commander is probably S tier, but I'm ranking it A tier due to the cost the hero has. If we go to our game and we check Husk, okay, like, expertise, the hero is a beast, but if you're looking at for example 5111, for example, you're gonna have like the huge stat boost, which is pretty decent already on the damage dealt bonus. But then, for example, here you're losing defense, you're losing normal attack damage bonus, which this is why with Kinara the hero is super strong in counter attack terms. Normal attack damage bonus ends up buffing the counter attack damage. So if you, like, your hero goes to 5111, then you're already missing that part. And then Legion capacity is just like it's not really that crazy. Like 15k, like it's gonna give you a bit more of damage just to the pure extra troops amount. But then if you check with any other commander, like you prefer like increase your magic damage for that hero, inflict a burn that literally deals damage, or well, damage over time, give stats, like this skill is a bit mediocre. And yeah, like increasing crit chances and counter attack crit rate is just super strong. So again, the issue with this hero is that you need you need the kind of expertise to take the most value out of it, and it's honestly quite expensive. That's why I'm ranking it A. If it were cheaper, it's gonna be an S. Overall, this is not only in terms of power. Okay, now we're going with the second one. It's gonna be Thea. I'm gonna rank it in a B because it has some use cases. Now, what's the issue? I wouldn't invest in this commander, to be honest, because it falls, like from what I've seen on the next seasons, it has almost no use. But currently in the first season, it's useful because it gives you some shield, more important, some skill damage boost, and it's like a kind of a universal hero. Because again, if we go to the game, we check the skills, we can see the shield factor and the hero skill damage boost. The attack, it's universal, as well as the skill damage reduction. The only thing you're missing is here. The 10% defense, you get it no matter the troop type, but if it's not a flying unit, you lose the attack and the march speed, which kinda sucks, but it's not that big of a deal. So again, it's a good hero for season 1 due to how universal it is, but it's nothing crazy, to be honest, so I'm gonna rate it at B. Now, Bakshi, I'm gonna put it at, well, see, I'm gonna put it on an A, and I have Bakshi. Now, what's the deal? The issue is Emery's. Emery's is an S for any Cavalry player in season 1, and it's where your goal head's gonna be. With Bakshi, you're gonna leave him at 51111, and you're gonna go to expertise Emery's. The main issue with this commander is that it has a peacekeeping skill, so whenever you have him 5111, you have a 66.66% chance to get a good skill whenever you're using your heads, but you have a 33.33% chance that that skill is completely useless for PvE. For PvP. So the reason, and I mean, that's like, you know, you're getting 100% value of every single gold head you put on Emery's, while if you do it with Emery's, you run that risk. That's why I rate them this way. And to be honest, and we have to still do some testing, but I think I'm gonna put this like this. I think Alistar Awakened, of course, might outperform Bakshi. Whoops, this is not Call of Dragons, whoops. If we check the heroes, like what you're getting from 511 Bakshi is 1400 damage factor, which is good, and a boost to HP, which is the most important stat. Then you're getting 4% HP and 10%, so pretty much just 14% of stats. You're getting here an RNG between rage accumulation, speed, healing factor, or attack and defense bonus. I gotta say the healing factor is like, you end up seeing a lot of healing on your march. But now if we check Alistar, yes, we get more like 800 less skill damage factor, which of course you can feel that. But this counter attack damage, do not neglect this. The unit you counter is archers, and archers deal a lot of counter attack damage. So being able to reduce that counter attack damage is gonna pump the traits on your reports. Then we have 10% HP and 10% physical attack, which we're already talking about 20% stats in comparison to this, which is only 14. Then we look at this. Sadly, this is a rallying skill, so it's completely useless, but Bakshi has another skill that is useless, so at the end they are kinda equal. Then you have this. If you have over 50% units remaining, they gain synergy and passion for 3 seconds when launching normal attacks. 20% hero skill damage dealt, 20% rich accumulation speed. It's fucking huge. And we're talking 30% whenever this hero is awakened. And then the awakened skill, I guess it's called. And you deal 10% more normal attack damage and take 10% less damage. So I really think if you're gonna run only one cavalry march, a fight like an Alistar Awaken is probably outperforming Bakshi. Because the only thing this hero has stronger is the damage factor, but this probably gets outmatched by all the other value that the commander gives you. Now if you're gonna run 2 cavalry marches, of course you do Bakshi Emeris for more damage, or Emeris Bakshi for more move speed, and then Alistar with another commander such as Tia, or you can go with Nika for the health reduction. You can do several other things. So that's the reason I'm gonna rank him above a legendary hero. Of course, if Bakshi is awakened, it's gonna be superior, but for most people, even whales probably, for season 1 it's gonna stay 5111, so I'm gonna rank it there. Let's go with Warwick, A. I'm putting him at A because I consider Madeline is better, but this hero, he's at a lot of tankiness, okay? That tankiness is good for infantry because you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Sadly, it has a garrison skill, which means in open field it's not 100% valuable, but yeah. If you're going with infantry, you're gonna work on this guy, like making him 5111, leave it there because then you wanna work on Madeline. In season 1, I consider this hero probably here. Why? First, you can get it for free, which is a super good thing, but then this skill, I think it's kinda underrated. The skill damage factor is nothing crazy, but increasing 20% target damage taken bonus, that's super huge. Like, that's a 20% all damage buff on all your marches hitting that target. I think that's super undervalued. Sadly, of course, then you have gathering speed, which is completely useless, but then it's giving you 20% HP, that's a lot of HP, that I remind you, the best stat, that has a lot of value. And then we have this, reduce counter-attack damage taken by 20% for 5 seconds and removes 1 debuff effect. This is super good, for example, if you put her with some weird Mage March, because the best Mage March is this combo for season 1. But less counter-attack damage is good. Then the Awaken, you get 200 more damage factor and 100 more healing factor, which is super good. It makes the skill be a bit more relevant in terms of damage, but again, I think the highest value of this is this 20%. Like, imagine you're going with 3 cavalry marches, this one is the first to hit, applies this buff, and then your Emeris, your Bakshi, whatever, just nukes that march. Like 20% more damage received, like it's better than, for example, a hero that buffs his own march alone by 20% damage, because this benefits every single march hitting one target. So that's why it's ranked there. Kinara, fucking S tier. This combo, Kinara Husk, is a super whale combo, but like honestly, whoever you target is gonna melt, and whenever mages target you, you're gonna even melt them just from counter-attack damage. If you're an archer, you gotta work on Kinara on the first season. Super strong. And the best archer commander of the first season. Then we have Lilia. Now, okay, let me... Inside the ranking, I'm gonna rank them by how powerful I think they are. And I honestly think this is the... For season 1, this is the rating. Yeah, Lilia, if you can buy her 5111 is gonna be a decent march for a long time. Of course, expertise is gonna be better, but again, issue with this commander again, it has a peacekeeping skill, which is completely useless for PvP, so you wanna do 5111, and then if you have more skills, you wanna pray that the skill, you have a 66.66% chance that the skill will be useful. By the way, if you're gonna invest on Lilia, you gotta bear in mind that you wanna go for the Infernal Flame. Like, this artifact on season 1 is super strong and you don't wanna miss on it. Madeline, I'm gonna put her probably... I'm not sure between those two who I'd consider stronger overall. Of course, in their each category they are stronger. Look, Madeline, I really like her. Sadly, it comes from the wheel. I don't plan on unlocking her at all. But look, first, universal buff of attack. Legion capacity and increase physical damage dealt by Legion in the field by 3%. Strong. Legion deals 5% more counter-attack damage universally, and then of course if you're using infantry, that infantry gets 50% more HP bonus. And then look at this, when the shield is broken, you have an AoE damage skill of 300 damage factor. Expertise reduces the damage taken. You can run this with Cavalry, to be honest. I mean, like, I was considering unlocking Madeline. The only thing you're benefiting from using her with infantry or with cavalry is literally 15% HP bonus. And you're getting physical attack, which will boost the skill damage factor at the end from your cavalry, a shield factor for your march, which you can pair her with the squishy cavalry that deals a lot of damage, for example. Universal physical damage dealt bonus works perfectly for cavalry, and an AoE hit. Like, right now when I'm reading this, I'm literally considering investing, like, just unlocking her. Like, that's the issue. Unlocking her is not enough. I'd probably need to make her at least 5111. And I don't really think I wanna do that over keep working on my memories. So that's the main reason. But I really like her. I think he's slept on because people just see her as an infantry commander, but I think she's super universal. Nika. Due to the other two infantry commanders, I'm gonna put her here. Now, the issue with this commander, yes, super strong health debuff, which is super valuable to increase the sequence of the enemy. Then again, peacekeeping skill, not that good. Fully focused on infantry, so you cannot rotate her around, but and its attack, for infantry you prefer health over defense and defense over attack. Then more hero skill damage. Like, Warbook doesn't give a fuck about skill damage because it's a heal. And you don't want to pair Nika Madeline, you prefer with Garwood for extra tankiness. So this is kind of relevant, only works for her. And counter-attack damage is nice, but infantry, at least if you're not a whale, it's not gonna deal enough counter-attack damage as archers. So yeah, I don't really think you want to invest on Nika over Garwood or Madeline. Now we're going with Nico. So here's the thing, if you're not going for Husk, then he's a good archer commander to pair with Kinara. But if you can go for Husk, the counter-attack damage of that march is just absolutely insane. The issue with this commander, again, is that it has an engineering bonus, which has no value. Again, focused on marksman, you cannot rotate him with other types of units. And as you can see, it buffs the counter-attack damage and the normal attack damage, which is super strong for archers, but Husk just pretty much outperforms him. Another issue this commander has is that it applies a defense break, but the debuffs override each other in case of Kinara, because Kinara has a defense debuff already, so the higher one will apply and the other one will be removed, so at the end you're not getting extra value from defense reduction, and you want to use Kinara no matter what if you're playing archers, so that's why it's gonna stay on A. Or no, actually it's gonna go to B. Belin, yeah, you want to pair Lilia Belin, super strong mage, AoE value, increases this hero skill damage, like super strong. Probably I'd put him here, like pretty decent hero. C tier this is going, I won't even bother. For super, I'm gonna put him at B, because for super early infantry gameplay, maybe before you get Medellin, and you know you don't want to work on Nika to put universal alt heads on her, so you want to run him with Garwood, but otherwise I'm not gonna bother with Eliana, to be honest. Like, Gowon is not bad, to be honest, as an archer, but the moment you get Kinara, you just, like, she gets replaced by Kinara, but still, as a commander itself, she's not bad, so I'm gonna leave her there. This guy, I'm gonna put him at A. It's kinda a universal hero, so that gives him value. AoE damage, but the most important thing is you can use him with the flying Wyvern Riders, and those guys can destroy buildings from a distance. So if you wanna, for example, go and destroy this flag, you're gonna be on melee range. But with Wyvern Riders, you can be like around here, more or less, within this range, destroying a building, which is super good for really intense PvP situations, but you need to take down a flag. So he's gonna stay there. Pan is gathering, yes, has a heal, I wouldn't really bother using it on PvP. And then Waldir. Look, Waldir, I don't want to overstack the ranges with commanders. Well, I did it already in the cavalry, so I guess I can do it here. If you have like a 5-1-1-1 Belin and Awaken Waldir, this might outperform him whenever you get him 5-1-1, like 5-5-1-1 or 5-2-3-1 or something like that. Belin just starts outperforming him, but he's super valuable, to be honest, for a free-to-play player. So that's pretty much the tier list. If you're a whale, okay, like a big whale, you go with this. Like, your marchers wants to be Kinara Husk, Lilia Belin, Emeris Bakshi, Medellin Garwood, and then for a fifth one you can either go with something support wise, like for example you could go with an Alistar Indies to increase the damage received, or you could just go with some flying unit like the Craig with Theia for the Wyverns flying. Like, the 5th March in Season 1 is kinda